Hey guys, I'm Sean McCauley with Cloud Defensive, and I'm going to answer your top questions about the next generation Rein light.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, we ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste.
One of the top questions we've been getting is what colors are available, and you're looking at them. So the first day when we launch the next generation Rein, we're going to have 4 colors available in 2 different sizes, and that is going to be clear, anodized, black, flat dark earth, and yes, the ODG is available in both sizes.
86 all the hate, I won't get a ball today. Got lost in the ball and A's. I'm flipping the balls, I'm flipping the.
So the next question we get is a really critical one, and it's how does the first generation compare to the second generation with regards to size? Seeing's going to be believing here. So first generation unit, second generation unit, and they are substantially different. So moving from the front to the back, what you're going to see is a substantially smaller bezel diameter in the second generation. It's about 1.2 inches, and the first generation unit is 1.4 inches. So much so that the bezel actually fits inside the first generation unit. Much smaller on your gun. You can mount it a lot tighter to your lasers, your front sights. It's just better any way you cut it in terms of size. And again, this comes from us listening to you. You guys wanted a smaller light head, we gave it to you. So really critical there. Moving farther back, you're going to see the standoff is different, meaning the lugs are shorter on the second generation unit. We did that because we had a smaller light head, so we could lower the profile and get that light closer to your handguard. So it makes for a much tighter package. And again, that's what you wanted. We also changed the aesthetics on it. That's not really a size thing, but it does look quite a bit different. We wanted to update that and just give it the cleanest look possible. So what you're going to find from top to bottom with this thing is a light that's shorter, that is lighter weight, it's worth noting, and any way you cut it, it's smaller and it's lighter and it's brighter.
Advantage, I was wildin' on record, off record deals. Tell them talk to Colin for the quote. On record, off record, I still want the act, not the ghost.
So the next question is, how does the remote switch differ between the first generation and the second generation unit? So again, we go back to you guys, right? All the comments on Instagram and Facebook and everywhere else, and we listen to you. And the general consensus was that you wanted a lower profile package and you wanted the actual buttons to be a little bit more accessible. So we just did that for you, made it real easy. On the side plates, you're gonna see that we reduced the profile and we removed some unnecessary material there. And when you go with a side-by-side comparison, it's going to be a pretty poignant thing there. And then when you look at it from the top down, and specifically when you go to access those buttons, what you'll find is that we actually removed some of the ND protection, but not all of it. And when you actually seat your hand on it, it's a whole lot easier to activate that now. I think that's really going to matter for the guys wearing gloves, the guys with some bigger hands due to the size of the buttons. And overall, you're going to see some small but meaningful changes there. The next question is, how does the beam actually differ from the first generation unit? What you're going to find on a second generation unit is a slightly tighter hotspot, and it's obviously more intense. She's over 70,000 candela, which allows you to project light a very long ways. We were very selective in how we went about this process. You know, we're not just engaged in some mythical candela race. I know that it's an important thing, especially on long guns there, but what you're gonna find is that it is absolutely possible to have too much candela on your long gun for most applications. We ran into this. Honestly, it's actually pretty easy to make a high candela light head, and we did that, and we actually had well over 100,000 candela out of one of these things. And it's going to be real easy to say, wow, I really want that, until you see what it actually does. When you start to work in CQB environments and up close, it can be very counterproductive. It's really nice to be able to, project light a long ways, but you don't always need to do that. You need a lot of good usable spill. You need to be able to search. You don't want to create a bunch of shadows up close. And what we found with the higher candela offerings, well, I should say the much higher candela offerings, is that was what was happening. So we weren't totally thrilled with that. And we actually scaled that back and we pushed a little bit more of that light out into the spill of the light. What you get then is kind of the best of both worlds, at least in our opinion. Like I said, over 70,000 candela, it's a substantial improvement over the first generation. So you're able to throw light longer, be more disruptive to honestly whatever it hits. And you still get all that good usable spill, which is really, really important. Again, you need to be situationally aware of what's going on. And when it comes to that, if all your light's focused into a laser beam, you're just not going to see what's going on around your target. So this was very, very much designed based on the needs of the user. Okay, so a really big question here is whether or not the second generation Rein light, and specifically the light head, is reverse compatible with the first generation. And the answer is yes. It's very important to us, and it's very important to you guys. We know you want to be able to mix and match and do that. So you can absolutely do it. With one caveat. These light heads are more powerful than the first generation light heads, which means the upgraded electrical system had to be put in place for that. The good news is that we actually did that a long time ago, and you may or may not already have a second generation tail cap. So it's a really easy thing to identify. All you need to do is take a look at your tail cap spring. So you just pull your cartridge out of your light, take a look, and if you see a single spring, that means you have an old one and you need a new tail cap. If you see a spring within a spring, which we call a dual nested spring, congrats, you already have the updated version. So if you have the updated version, you can literally just put a new light head on your first generation unit and go right back to work. Now, that said, a lot of you guys are going to say, well, I've got this old tail cap, what am I going to do about it? And the answer is Cloud's going to do right by you. We always do. So if you have one of the first generation units and you have one of the pre-existing, the older tail cap assemblies, we're actually just going to upgrade your tail cap for free because that's just how we roll. So the next question we get is, how much does it cost and is the trade-in program available? And the answer is yes, the trade-in program is absolutely available. We created that program just for you guys. It's been really, really successful. I think you guys like it, and to be honest, it's just here to stay. So we're gonna keep that open for you. We're not gonna have that the first day that we launch this product, and there's a reason why, and that goes back to the price point. So what we've got is the same price as the first generation unit, so $379.99 is your standard offering. With that, remember, you're getting the light, you're getting the Picatinny mount, you're getting the remote switch, you're getting a battery and a charger. So it's a complete kit. It's literally everything you need in one box for that price. Now, launch day. We're going to discount that pretty heavily just because we love you guys. $319.99 is the launch day price. It's a one-day price. After that, it's going from $319.99 up to $379.99. So launch day is where you want to be. And that's why that trade-in program is kind of rendered moot that day. We just wanted to make it easier for you. You don't have to worry about trading anything in. If you want first access to one of these babies, $319.99.